name is Chris Frazier. I'm here with Linda McAllister and Kendra Tennyson, and we're here in Partners in Preventions, and today we're going to talk about what is Partners in Preventions. So can you explain that a little bit for us?
So Partners in Prevention is a department of the City of Longview.
Okay.
We are all about inspiring hope, building trusting relationships, and connecting partners in the community. And so we have multiple programs to make that happen in our community.
Some of the programs you mentioned, what is the most highly recommended program that you offer?
Well, I would say that Kendra and I both work heavily with the mentoring program, so we're going to say the mentoring program. But all of our programs are very good ones for the community. So I'll talk a little bit about the ones that are not the mentoring program, and Kendra will talk more specifically about that. So an event that we've got coming up right away is the Unity Honors dinner on next week. It's already a sold out event, but it's a wonderful event, and our Unity and Diversity Committee puts that on. That committee meets monthly, the first Monday of each month at the library from 12 to 1 o'clock. Taylor Thornton is the she's our facilitator of that group, and their focus is bridging gaps in our community around race relations. It's all about full inclusion of all types of diversity in our community. So not just race, gender, religion, all of those kinds of things. So that group meets monthly to sort of work out those barriers, to address barriers, and to help the community focus on positive ways to do that. They have an annual Unity Honors event to honor people in the community that have done an exemplary job in bringing people together and building those relationships. And then they also do Longview Listens, which has been an event where a speaker has come in and talked about issues around race and diversity and all of that. Then we have the Coalition for Drug-Free Youth, which is facilitated by Whitney Pierce. Whitney and that group meets at 11 a.m. on Thursdays, the last Thursday of each month. And it's students and adults from all different parts of the community: education, law enforcement, higher education. All of those folks come together, and their whole mission and goal is to support drug-free youth in our community. So the young people give input about ways that can happen.
Yes, ma'am.
There are drop boxes in the community where people can drop off unused medications so that they're properly disposed of. There's a used syringe drop off at the Longview Fire Department that group spearheads. So the Longview and White Oak Police Departments both have drop boxes for those unused prescriptions. And then they're doing lots of social media announcements in the community to raise awareness of alcohol, and other drug use by teens in the community. And then we have the Longview Bridges Out of Poverty. And that's an initiative to help reduce poverty in our community. It's bringing together different agencies that work with folks from poverty, helping us sensitize ourselves as a community to bridge barriers that really keep people from being able to move ahead with their lives. And there's even a 20-week class that we have called Getting Ahead in a Just Getting By world, where people come each week, they get a free meal, a $20 gift card, because it's sort of like job training, and they learn about financial literacy related to home ownership, debt to income ratio, those kinds of things, as well as the attitudes that help push you ahead and how to build resources in your own life. So the participants in that class are setting goals for their own life and learn how to do that in a way that also helps push them ahead. So it's more of a facilitated, not a traditional class. It's interactive and fun, and the experts on poverty are the participants themselves, not the facilitators involved. So.
Kind of going back to what you talked about, the mentoring program, Kendra, can you give us some information about, is there any training required for that mentoring program?
Sure, yeah, there's a few requirements. We like you to be 21 years of age, so there's a little distance between the student and the mentor. And also, a requirement is that you are a kind and engaging and loving human.
Yes, ma'am.
And we ask that you come to a training, just a one-time training. It's 2 hours here in our office, where we go more in depth about how we approach mentoring, how we feel
Gotcha.
about it and what the expectations are, what are healthy expectations.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Because it's a great experience, but it can also be, challenging.
Going back to the mentoring program, you talked about some training as far as mentors, things like that. What about the mentees? Is there anything qualifications for them?
No, they just need to be kindergarten through 12th grade
Gotcha.
students. We receive, recommendations from counselors and teachers and parents. We believe that every child deserves a mentor
Absolutely.
and can benefit from a mentor. So.
I'll just add that we do take students that have a functional IQ and have a desire to have a mentor.
Yes, ma'am.
So they have to
Absolutely.
want to have a mentor to do that. And we also kind of say that mentoring changes not just the student, but the mentor.
Absolutely.
It changes us all, the process does, for the better.
You guys go about addressing some of the community barriers, like addressing change, hope, and trust.
So I would say that the way we go about doing that is through building relationships in the community. We are very volunteer driven, as Kendra was saying. The mentoring program typically serves 200 to 250 kids a year.
Yes, ma'am.
Through an all volunteer force with a very small staff. So we're all about training and equipping people, but also helping people open their hearts and minds.
Yes, ma'am.
To new people and to people from different walks of life and from different backgrounds. And so I think that's one of the cool things about mentoring is that you're not only supporting a student to be able to find their spark and really be able to thrive in life, but also the mentor learns about people from different backgrounds and what the struggles are, and gives them a broader worldview of what folks from different walks of life are experiencing and the struggles that they're working through. So I would say that's true of Unity and Diversity Committee. It's true of Coalition for Drug-Free Youth, and certainly Longview Bridges Out of Poverty. We're all about sort of bringing people to the table and building trusting relationships.
Yes, ma'am.
To begin to address the difficult issues and topics, to talk about the hard stuff in trusting relationships.
And what's been the biggest role that Partners in Prevention has played in our community, just within the recent years?
The biggest role, I would say, is that we're seen as sort of a facilitator of those trusting relationships. We're seen as a place where people can come together and expect that there will be a seat at the table and that they will be welcomed here. We're also in the business of training others. I didn't mention our poverty simulations, but we also try to train community folks in agencies and businesses all across our community to actually have sort of a small little experience about what a family in poverty might be experiencing and the struggles that they have, and let people sort of try to figure out that. So I think another big role we do is raising awareness of the barriers in our community.
Yes, ma'am.
And fostering solutions through education, building relationships, that sort of thing.
Some of the programs you've got instilled, is there anything you guys got coming up for the summer?
Yes, we have several new mentor orientations coming up. We have one on the 30th of June, and then we have 2 in July and 1 in August, and those are all on our website. If you want to come and check those out, or call our office, 903-237-1019, and we will be glad to speak with you about getting signed up for one of our classes.
Gotcha.
We also have a golf tournament coming up September the 10th.
September the 10th, gotcha.
At Tempest Golf Course in Gladewater.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's the tee off is 9 o'clock, shotgun start, I think is how they say it in the golf world. And registration's at 8:30, but you can register on the website also and pay there as well. So we're looking for sponsors, and all of the funding from that tournament will go to support mentoring in the community. So that's another big thing we have coming up. we also do activities for our mentors and mentees and their families. Do you want to tell a little bit about the creative
crock potting? Yes. We love being able to bring our families of our mentees and our mentors together and get to spend time with our staff, where we get to just engage with them and speak with them in a different, usually we check in over the phone monthly, but it's so great to get our eyes on everyone and just spend time together as a little mentoring family. And so one of those events coming up, we're partnering with a lady named Julie Rachels.
Okay.
She's coming to teach our families some creative crock potting ideas, and each family will leave with a crock pot and a week's worth of cost effective and real easy recipes.
You talked about Coalition for Drug Youth. Can you guys talk about that and some of the training that goes into that?
So Whitney Pierce does the training with that. They have specifically honed in on things like vaping and the issue of vaping in our community. They're also very concerned about marijuana use and how rampant it's become, and how people see it as sort of not a big issue, and just helping our community understand what the consequences are, what the effects are of the drug on the body, and particularly at younger ages, and how it affects young people going forward. They also have done a lot of work on opioids and the whole opioid addiction issue, and of course opioid death. And so helping our community recognize that we're in sort of a hub for opioid use, and it's a scary one because it really can kill people, and it really crosses all socioeconomic backgrounds, as does weed, of course, and marijuana. So those would be some of the main substances. Alcohol, they do have tobacco and alcohol stings occasionally in collaboration with the police department. So Whitney has done a great job of engaging the school district so that students can really participate and give input about what they know about what's happening on school campuses and among their friends, and what types of messaging might be most effective. Sometimes we want to do messaging that's not evidence-based, like scare tactics, and young people are like, oh, we know that's not true. So really trying to look at messaging that helps young people really understand in a more thoughtful way maybe how those things can impact them as they go to college or push forward with their futures. So that's she'll do presentations in the community. You can call and ask for a presentation. She'll do them in the school districts. I've done a lot of work with Longview students around being a part of the group and giving input.
So Kendra, I've got a question for you. These last 2 years have been really tough on us with COVID. We had the entire world shut down. You guys have a mentoring program to help our youth. Have you seen that program grow at all?
We have seen a steady participation.
Gotcha.
Growth was a challenge this year, but we were so thankful that our mentors and mentees really stuck it out together, and we had to pivot. Our girls meet in person on campus, and that did not happen, but we just really focused on the ways we could connect. And we utilized technology, and we were able to, at least maintain and add several, I would say 50 at least matches, which I thought that's phenomenal. It was really great considering the circumstances and not being able to connect traditionally.
But my next question is going to be a personal question for you guys. So Kendra, I'm going to start with you.
Oh, great.
Why Partners in Prevention?
Well, I started with Partners in Prevention as a volunteer.
Okay.
And it just spoke to my heart with Bridges. And then I became a mentor, and slowly it just developed into a working situation, which was perfect because it partnered passion with, your purpose. And I think it just addresses so many things. It was just, catch-all just doesn't seem like the right word, but I mean, it just does so much good work in so many different areas. I can't think of a better place.
Yes, ma'am. You said two words that they stand out to me always: passion and purpose. We have a lot of members that are moving to the community from different areas, different states, and some of those members just don't know what their purpose is. For those that are looking to find a purpose, what is something you would invite them to come do in Partners in Prevention?
Well, visit our website and check
Yes,
out
ma'am.
all of the program descriptions and when they meet, and across the board, I'm sure they can find
Yes,
something
ma'am.
that's at a time where they can plug in and get involved. And especially with the mentoring, one of the questions that we get a lot is, how am I matched? And,
Yes, ma'am.
how do you choose who goes with who? That makes me nervous. And it's a very intentional process.
Yes, ma'am.
And we are very thoughtful and spend a lot of time. We don't just put a warm body with a warm body.
Yes, ma'am.
And so, we want to make sure that you plug in where you belong and where you'll be a good
Yes,
fit.
ma'am. Absolutely. Lyndall, my question for you is the exact same one. Why work for Partners in Prevention?
I have loved my work with Partners in Prevention. I've been working for Partners in Prevention for 27 and a half years.
Yes, ma'am.
So have really had, what I've loved about it, I'm a long-time social worker.
Okay.
And have done, worked with CPS and Women's Center and a lot of different things, but I believe the call of my life is to serve. And Partners in Prevention is such a unique opportunity to create opportunities for people to come together, to create a different sort of positive impact in the lives of people. And so I think the whole idea of building trusting relationships, helping young people specifically find their purpose and meaning in life, really resonates with my heart and my purpose. And so I would say I love this above all the things I've done. We get to work with adults and young people.
Yes, ma'am.
We get to engage with people in times of difficulty, but also watch people make great changes. It's and we're empowering and encouraging people in their own walks
Yes,
and
ma'am.
to make their own decisions, and for young people to learn about leadership and to be empowered to do that, and having enrichment opportunities. So I would say all of those things really resonate with me, rather than we're not in a situation where we're forcing anybody to do anything.
Yes, ma'am.
People get to make choices and do what's best for their lives and according to their circumstances.
Yes, ma'am. So my final question for you is, those that are new to the community, what is one message that they don't know about Partners in Prevention? What's one message that you would want them to hear?
We are a positive place to bring people together in trust and respect, to talk about the hard issues in the community, things like race relations, mentoring young people who are struggling, trying to build a healthy community, drug-free for our youth. It's a good place to come where you would be welcomed and encouraged.
Yes, ma'am. Well, Lyndall and Kendra, we thank you for your servant leadership. Again, Lobo Nation, we thank you for tuning in with us today. It's always a great day to be a Lobo. Thanks and be blessed.